Welcome back to another session of Python. That is, we are dealing with Pandas, and you could have seen the Pandas lessons. What is Pandas? What are the data structures supported by Pandas? What do you mean by series? And what is the speciality of the index of the series? And what are the different syntax that you can use to access the and create the series object of Pandas? And after that, how do you create series with mutable index, that is changeable index. That is mutable index is something a new idea for us, and from scalar value also you can create, and then by means of dictionary how you can make the key as your index values and the data values as value in the series that we have seen, and also mathematical operations you can perform on the series like plus, multiplication, division, whatever you know, all the operations can be performed in because it is a sequence data type of Pandas. It is not supported by core, it is a part of library, and if you multiply 2, it means that you are trying to multiply all the elements with 2. And if you go through some other examples, you have seen how missing values can end up with the nan value. Nan is a missing value, it is not a number. It will happen when you are trying to add with a common index, but the values are different. The summing up is possible, but the number of elements may not be matching. Total number of elements may not be matching with the 2 series. In that scenario, nan will come. And also we have seen how we can replace the nan value with a specific value with something called as add function of the series object. And apart from that, tail function, head function, top rows and bottom rows of a series can be returned. If you specify a specific number, that number of times it will be returned. And also we have seen what are the slicing operation we can perform. As usual, you can go with the square bracket methodology that you are very much aware of from the Python core. And also it is providing a mechanism called as LOC, ILOC. LOC is including the end value also. ILOC is behaving similar to Python core. And as usual, the square bracket is a normal one. So these are the 3 methods of slicing available for Pandas series object. And if you think about index values, indexing in series, you can also give specific index values using at the time of creation in the form of a list data object. And after that, slicing we have seen this is not much different from the Python Pandas. And we started data frame. Data frame is somewhat 2-dimensional data structure, or we cannot say data frame can also accommodate multi-dimensional data structure. It's not limited to only 2-dimensional. Even if you want, we can make it as 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, like that you can make it. And we have seen 2 types of because it is 2-dimensional data structure we are much studying here, because it is frequently used. It was somewhat resembles with the Excel spreadsheets or any company spreadsheet. The workbook will be divided into cells. Each cell is identified by the row numeric number and column string value. So if A1 means, you are understanding that is particular cell address. Okay. Similarly, we are dealing the data structure, data frame. Now row index is referring to axis 0, column index is referring to axis 1, and data frame size is mutable, very important, and data is also mutable. Data is also mutable. How can you create a data frame? Using series, list, dictionary and numpy 2D array. You can use already how to create the data and fill up the data with the help of these things and supply that one to data frame object, data frame class. The object will be created, which is a data frame. So basically series, list, dictionary, numpy 2D array is wrapped with the idea of data frame. Wrapped with the data frame. Now the result will be data frame object. Data frame object. Okay. How to create empty, how to create from a series, how do we create from a dictionary, how the data frame is list of dictionaries. Like this also you can create. We have seen yesterday. Iteration, that is something we have to start now today. Iter rows and iter items. Iter rows and iter items are a powerful two functions supported by the data frame. For that, iteration means accessing element by element. Iteration means accessing element by element till the end. So if you want to access rows, iter rows. If you want to access item by item, column wise, it can be used iter items. Okay. Pandas provide two functions. Iter rows, it is used to access the data row wise. Example, Sachin Bhardwaj, surname Verma. Now, based on this list of dictionaries, this is a list of dictionaries, you have created a data frame df1. If you print, you are going to get this input. Output will be like this. Now, yeah, please come, Manoj. Now, just I was revising the topic. Just now I started the topic. Manoj, please, little bit you start, because you are commuting, right? Sometimes the traffic will not be predictable, right? Yeah. Now, for index, for row index, row index, row value in df iter rows. Now you have to understand this for loop. Usually for a single value in a object, that is what you are using. But now we are not using a single value. When you iterate through the rows, you will get the index value and the particular data item. If you access a particular element from the data frame, Manoj, we are dealing with the data frames. Yesterday we stopped at iter rows and iter column items. That is the function we are studying about. First I have taken the iter rows. Now if you take that iter rows, how you are using name of the frame object, data frame object df1 dot iter rows. You are not supplying as of now anything in the bracket. This one will take row by row and individual index and the value will be given, and it can be printed and you can see, examine what are the things available. It will tell you index number is 0. Index number is row index is 0. First, after that, row value will be what? Row value is Sachin, surname Bhardwaj. You see the top, Sachin Bhardwaj, Vinod Verma. Row number is 0, Sachin Bhardwaj. Row number 1, Vinod Verma. So now what happens? Name is Sachin, surname is Bhardwaj. First row is printed. In the next iteration of the for loop, it will go to row number 1 and it will print Vinod Verma. Vinod Verma. This is the way item by item we are accessing. Row by row we are accessing. What is the demonstration? Here we are giving the focus to iter rows function. The whole program idea is to understand iter rows. Iter rows accesses the whole row and it will be supplying you the values. What is the index? What are the values? Now you have seen when you print a row index, it is printing 0. Row value means it is not printing a single value, it is printing multiple values. Got it? Single row value variable is holding name Sachin, surname Bhardwaj. Who is printing this value? Single variable is printing. Single variable is printing. What type of data is this one? Data type is object. Data type is object. It is an object. Now, iter items. Access the data column wise. Now like this you want to access. Now same thing, Sachin, Vinod, Bhardwaj, Verma. In this order it will be accessed. First column is which one? Name column. Next column is surname column. Row is 0, 1. When you try to access iter items, it will print you Sachin, Vinod, Bhardwaj, Verma. It is not related. It is two different persons' name. First it will display the first name of two person. Next it will display the surname of the two person. That is accessing column wise. Now you see there is no difference between the structure of the for loop and a call value is holding the whole column value. Call value is holding the whole column value. Now you see if you print, how it will be printed? 0th row Sachin, first row Vinod. It is nothing but first name. After that, column 2 is surname. Column name is what? Index is surname. Index is what? Name. It is not 0, 1 because already we have given the, using the dictionary we have given the column name. So the column name is the index. Column name is the index. So name, surname is column index, and what are the values? Bhardwaj, Verma. Both are surname of 2% because you are accessing row wise. Now you see Sachin Vinod, Sachin Vinod. Bhardwaj Verma, Bharadwaj Verma. Actually, two first name, two. This is the way we are accessing column wise. And now, yes, please. This one, okay, we can. Are you getting any problem executing this one? Oh, it is not recording. Okay, fine. Yeah, it is going on. Let me project spider window. Let me project spider window, and let me demonstrate the data frame that you want to use iter rows and iter items. Okay. Now let me disconnect the projection. I will go for a spider window, and in the spider window I want to start a new program. And what are the things we are doing here? Say for example, import Pandas as PD. Everyone is calling it as shortcut PD. We will also call it as PD. Now I want to create a list of dictionaries we want to create. So I can create LST1. It is going to be a list. Inside that one, dictionaries are there. First is F name. For example, Vinay. First name is Vinay, and S name, surname is what is your surname, Vinay? Something you tell me something. You maybe your native place, because in South India we don't use surname. We use our father name. Okay, tell me your father name. Srinivasan. Okay. After that, I want to move on to another F name. Manoj I will type. The first name is Manoj. Appa solunga Manoj. Murugapandi. Okay. S name is Muruga Pandi. This is one. And after that, I want to move on to the third one. First name is, say for example, Soma Sekhar. This is your spelling, right? S name is, tell me your father name. Chandra. Okay. Now, third one, the final one, F name is Narasimha. S name is, tell me your father name, Narasimha. Is it the correct?
P-E-N.
P-E-N.
C-H-A-L-A-I-N-H.
C-H-A-L. Correct? Yeah. Now we created. Is there any mistake in the list? At the time of data creation, it is difficult to find out the mistake. We have to be careful typing the data creation. And as soon as you are becoming expert in Python, you will find out how to store all this data in a database, extract. You can write a simple program. That program will create all the dictionary for you. You see how many mosquitoes are there? Okay. Now I want to create a data frame df1. What is the mechanism? Pandas dot data frame. What is the name of that that we are using? lst1. Is there anything you read? Data frame is created. Now what are we going to do with this data frame? Item rows, iter rows, row by row we want to access the data. For the value will be in the form of tuple we are taking. Tuple symbol we are putting. So row index row val. Where is this? It is available in df1 iter rows. Am I right? Yeah. Now what are we going to do? Row index is available. So I am going to print index of the row is row index. After that, what are we printing? Values of the row. That one we are having in row val. Right? Is there anything more you required? To make it index value separate from the data value, you can add one additional print statement. It will add you one space. Shall I run the program? Yeah. Okay, in my environment, Pandas is not there. Okay, navigator. Anaconda navigator takes 2 minutes time. Actually, it was, I don't know what time I changed this, because last batch I was using the same system.
Pandas spelling mistake, sir.
Spelling mistake? Yes, you are right. Yeah. Yes, you are right. Probably it is available then. No module name Pandas. Yes, still. Something happened. I have reinstalled the system. I don't know what time I did. Import Pandas as PD. Yes, it is correct. Okay, let me go and check what is happening. Okay, it's moving on. Give me 1 minute time. I'll.
In place of Panda PD, data frame.
Data frame?
DF equal PD we use directly.
Yes. Instead, I don't need to use that. But it doesn't mean that it is making any big difference. Actually, instead of typing a long name, I want to make a small name. If I don't utilize that PD, if I use the full Pandas, meaning is same. And now I'm going to the environment. I want to find out not installed, whether Pandas is not installed. Pandas is there, right? Pandas is not installed. Now I'm asking apply, and one thing I did mistake. In my system it is administrator password. Run as administrator. Otherwise it will not run. It will not install the. Because in your system what you have done, as a local user you could have installed. In your hidden document folder you could have installed. But I have properly installed in the program folder, Windows program folder, using the admin password. Because anyone who is using my laptop, you can create any account, you can access that. Only one installation is sufficient. If you don't do that installation, everyone has to install their own copy of Anaconda Navigator. You understand the difference, right? Yeah. Now, I want to start the environment. I want to go to Pandas. Installed is not available. Not installed, yes, it is available. Now I am selecting, I am applying. It will not take much time. It's because this net is speed, the installation will be minimal. Now apply. Yeah, it will take some. Yeah, almost it is because it is not displaying as percentage in Anaconda Navigator. It is difficult to predict how much has been because not only the Pandas is yeah, it has to remove this window. It didn't finish. You see, dependency packages are there. Pandas is depending on some other packages that will also be including. It will be included and it will be installed. So it takes time. If I select Pandas means it doesn't mean that only one package I am installing. Whatever the dependent package, it will check. If it is already installed, it will not reinstall. And also it will resolve the what it is called as versions, appropriate versions. Now 15 packages available matching Pandas. Now if I go to installed, Pandas is installed. Now it should work now. Name, F name is not defined. Where is F name? Yes, all are string values, right?
Yes.
All are string values. So I have to go for F name like this. Yes or no? Keys are in string format. Key values are in string format. Most every time I will do this mistake. Key values will be treated like a variable. I used to type like a variable. F name will be treated like a variable if I don't put the single quote. It will ask you what is the data type of S name. It is not defined. You haven't given the value, something like that. It will display error message. So now we enclosed all key value pair. Now it should work.
Sir, can I put it down?
Where is?
Last line, sir.
Yeah, yes, you are right. Is there any another double quote? Otherwise, it is AOL error. AOL error is scanning. You see, now Murugappan is also having error. Murugappan. Yeah. Surname is having here also one double quote is additionally available. Yes. Got it now? Value of the row F name, S name. You see, little bit I will increase the row. Index of the row is 0 and values of the row Vinay Srinivasan. And how many rows are there? Manoj Murugappan, Murugapandi, correct?
Yes.
Somashekar Chandra, Narasimha Penchalayya. Okay, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now what is this? What is this output? You are getting row by row output. Even if it is displayed in the column format, we arranged the print statement like column wise. It seems to be column wise. Why? We printed like that. If you take that one in the imagination, it is in the form of rows. Vinay Srinivasan. Vinay Srinivasan belongs to one single row. Now let me copy paste this program. In your WhatsApp. I will copy this one. And we will go for the iter items. Iter items we will change. It's nothing but one line we have to modify. Even that program will become what it is called. Yeah. Now little bit I am modifying. Simply for the sake of simplicity, I don't want to modify any variable. Actually, it is not giving iter items. Only I am modifying this one. Only I am modifying iter items. Now what will happen? Vinay, Manoj, Somashekar, Narasimha. All your name, after that list of father names. Right? Now that should be the output. Are you getting? Vinay, Manoj, Somashekar, Narasimha. These are all my student names. What about their father names? Got it now? Actually, the name of the variable is not meaningful here. It is not rowind, colind, roval. It is not roval. It is colval. So why we change? Because it should be meaningful. It is a convention to give the name of the variable meaningfully. So for that sake, I will change the name of variable as colval, colind. And because I change it here also I have to change. Right? Yeah. After that, call. Got it now? Now run again the same output. Now let me take this one and I'll copy paste in your WhatsApp. Hey, where did I paste? I think in another. Where did I paste? Somewhere I pasted, right? It is not pasted then. No, I didn't paste. It seems I didn't press the enter key.
Just pasted, but
Yeah. So let me put it only call iter. You can modify that. No, like this I got na.
yes.
I got actually. Please check whether you have received 2 copies. Otherwise, the previous batch student got that output.
Yes,
No,
sir.
you got 2, but it is not showing me.
Yes, sir.
You see, it's not showing me.
Software also, sir.
Huh?
Software issue.
Yeah. Okay. Any further doubts I want to clarify you, Vinay? Shall I move on to the slide?
Defaultly index number and data were printing, sir. Okay.
Default is.
Defaultly index number and data type defaultly.
Yeah, default will be printed in data frame. We will see further because we didn't complete the topic. The way you can mute mutable index values are there. We are going to see that one also. Okay. Now let me project the slides and why I am not typing much things here, because it is consuming a lot of time. That's why I am asking you to, in your leisure time, I am asking you to type by your own. We can cover the topics more. Okay, in data frame, how are you doing that? What it is called as a slicing operation. This is what we are going to see now. Selection operation in data frame. To access the column data, we can mention the column name as subscript. Example, df employee ID. This can also be done using df em. Column name can be used as a variable. It is not having brackets. Either use like a previous Python notation. What is the Python notation? In dictionary, you will put one square bracket and you will mention the key. Here you have to mention the column. If you don't want to go with that notation, you can give df emp id. Now emp id is not a function. Emp id is a variable supported by the variable df, supported by the object df. To access multiple columns, we can write as, you have to put it in a single list, all the name of the columns. See, first square bracket, the outer square bracket refers to selection process square bracket. Inner square bracket belongs to a list. Outer is, 2 meanings are there. Both square brackets are having not the same meaning. One square bracket refers to usual selection process is enclosed by square bracket. Index values is enclosed by square bracket. That is the meaning. But inner square bracket refers to list. So all the name of the columns can be enclosed in a list where if you supply to df, all the values will be displayed. How? We can see one by means of one example. Now you see, this is a dictionary which is created not a single value, multiple values. Like this also you can create dictionary. EMP ID 01, 02, 03, 04, all the employee IDs. After that their corresponding name. Employee ID 101 is actually Sachin. Employee number 102 is Vinod. Like this all the employee name has been put. Date of joining, their due to joining date has been specified. All are three lists contained in dictionary. How do you call the emp data? Emp data is an object of what is the name of the object? Emp data is an object of what type? How do you call? It is a dictionary. But what type of dictionary is this? Can you say this is list dictionary? Only values are list, not the keys are list, right? You cannot specifically, you cannot say that this is a dictionary of lists, lists, multiple lists. It is not, because the keys are not list. But as time being, you can call it as dictionary of list. Data frame emp data df. If you print the df, it will print like this: emp id, eme name, date of joining, and you can observe that print function is printing the data frame in a proper format. We didn't format. Do we format like this? What should be the space? How should be? What is the alignment? Everything has been done automatically. We didn't do that. Okay? Okay. Now, the concentration is about this part. EMP ID means it will display all the IDs, or otherwise DF EMP ID single quote, because it is a string value. The key is a string value. Name, employee ID, data type is int64. Internally in the data frame, the employee ID has been stored as an integer value of 64 bits. How many bits it is taking? So it means that as much as possible, like Aadhaar number, you can store in that. You can store any number, big number. Okay. For example, if I want two values, you can specify like this: selection of the values. Selection of the values. Now inside you have mentioned a list. List is containing all the column names. List is containing all the column names. This is meaningful. This is meaningful. To add or renaming a column in data frame, how can you do that? Say for example, df columns equal to list 1. List 1, to rename the default column of data frame as list 1, you can give the name as list 1. Say import pandas PD series you are creating. Based on this S series, you have created a data frame and it is going to be a single column data. Using dictionary you are creating multiple column. But in series, how many columns will be available? Single column. The default name of the column is something available, right? What is the default name? It will be 0. Because we didn't mention anything. So automatically what will be the name of the column for data frame? 0. We say that df columns equal to list 1. The default name will be list 1. Now you are saying that df list 2 equal to 20. To create a new column list 2 with all values as 20. This is as simple as like this one single statement. Please observe that df list 2 equal to 20. It is a very simple statement. We mean that create a new column called as list 2 because there is no list 2. There is no list 2. It will not complain you that there is no list 2. How can you assign 20? No. Data frame is clever enough to understand that you are trying to add a new column and you want to fill that column with the values 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Now you are trying to create a list 3 column by means of this one list 3 column equal to df list 1 plus list 2. Be careful when you are writing program like this. Be careful when you are writing program like this. Why I am saying? Already a column is available. It is holding different values. If you make like this, in one single statement you are modifying the whole column. You are modifying the whole column values. So this type of statement when you are composing, be careful whether you are rightly composing. Whether you are rightly composing. Accidentally, if you are also using files and database connected with your Python program, the whole database will modify. The whole database will modify because it will not complain you why are you doing like this. Because of your wrong programming, the whole database can collapse. So that's why every time when we have a data, we maintain a original database backup for experiment purpose or our real production purpose. You have to maintain the original data in a backup. If anything goes wrong with the data, immediately you can copy and you can replace the data. That is a simple thing. If we human beings are error prone, we can commit easily mistakes. So how can we manage that? Maintain the copy backup. Yeah. Now this statement also easily you can understand. What is list 3 equal to list 1 plus list 2? What is the meaning? All the values of column list 1 has to be added with list 2 and a new column has to be correspondent values should be created in the name of list 3. So now column 1 list 1, column 2 list 2, column 3 is created by means of adding the 2 values. Done? This is, if you know Excel, it is like imagination, you can understand how you are creating. Got it now? Now add column 1 and column 2 and store in new column list 2. If you print df, it will be like this. The output will be like this. The yellow box. Yellow box is 10, 15, 18, 22 is the value that you created with the help of one series. After that you added a column filling all the values with 20s. List 3 is created based on the 2 columns. Adding 10 plus 20, 15 plus 20, 18 plus 20, 22 plus 20. All it is resultant column. Fine. Now you understand what we are discussing about in this? Renaming a column and adding a new column to data frame. Adding a new column to data frame. To delete a column in data frame, how can? As usual you have delete statement. As usual you have pop function. In addition to that one, drop function is also there. In addition to that, drop function. I am not exposing you all the parameters of the pop function and drop function. If you go to the Python Pandas manual pages means A to Z will be explained there. There you can find out how powerful are drop and pop up. In your real life when you develop, you have to explore the manuals also. You should not stop here itself. You have to explore the manual. Manual is a place where A to Z will be explained about everything. Pandas means A to Z could have been explained by the developer of the Pandas. We are not exposing you. If I take only drop and if I start explaining you, it will take 2-3 classes. That is not our purpose. Depending, even if I explain also, you will not recognize. Why? What is the practical use I didn't understand? When you get any trouble, how can I solve this problem? What is the Pandas is giving me solution? Okay, this type of one parameter is supported. Okay, use it. This is the way we are approaching the problem solving. Okay. Simply you can use the statement like this. The whole list 3 column is deleted. Del df name of the column. Name of the column has to be. Don't forget to specify single quote. Like me, you should not forget. If you don't forget, list 3 will become a variable name. If you don't put the single quote, list 3 will become what? Variable name. Python will search what is the value of variable list 3. So that it can insert inside the square bracket. That is the result what will happen. Okay. Now, the list to pop. We can simply delete a column by passing column name in pop method. Same thing, right? In our previous experience, When we talked about other data structures, we used pop. Where did we use? List also we can use. List is having one dimensional. List is having one dimension. So delete means what will happen? Only one dimension, so you don't need to mention where to delete. You don't have anything. Either it should be in the beginning or in the ending, deleting is going to happen. But here you have to mention the column name. The whole column is, it is not a single element you are deleting, the whole column is deleted. Whole column is deleted. Now list 2, column 2 is deleted now. Result is only the list 1. Now delete a column using drop. This one requires a demonstration program. Why? Because you didn't use this function. You didn't use the function. Axis 1 means to delete data column wise. Axis 0 means to delete data row wise with given index. See the flexibility. In pop function, del can delete column data. In square bracket, you cannot mention 0, 1, 2, 3. You are not mentioning. You are mentioning column. You want to delete the last row or a particular row you want to delete. Or otherwise you want to delete the column. Here the axis parameter is coming into picture. Axis 1 refers to column. Axis 0 refers to row wise. Please don't forget. At least one you remember. Axis 0 means row wise. The opposite is another. Easily you can understand. Axis 0 means what? Row wise. Only one thing you remember. 1 is opposite, column. Okay. Now 10, 20, 30, 40 is the series. Based on the series, one single column is created in the data frame. What is the name of that column? 0. So you are changing the column name into list 1. After that, list 2 column you are creating another column. It is filled with what is the value? 40s. Now how many columns are there? 2 columns are there. Now you are saying that data frame df dot drop. So drop is a method supported by the data frame object. Drop is a method supported by the data frame object. If it is this statement, the notation to specify is data frame object name dot drop method. That is what we have done here. Now list to axis 1. Please imagine axis 1 means column wise. If I say axis 0, it should not be the column name. You have to mention the row numbers in the form of list. How many rows you want to drop? Now in the first statement you are saying that second column list 2 has to be deleted. That is the meaning of drop. Axis 1. What is the meaning in the next drop? Index 2, 3 means 2 and 3. Row number 2 and row number. Row starts from 0. So 2 means third row. 3 means fourth row actually. Right? Physically it is fourth row. That's why we say axis 0. Delete data row wise with given index. Axis 0 means row wise you have to delete. And what are the rows? 2, 3. Whenever you have multiple values to be given to a single variable inside a method, please remember it should be in the form of list. Because if 2, 3 will be 2 values. If you want to treat it as a single value, make it list. List will be treated as a value, one value. Internally it is holding 2 values. Doesn't matter. But for Python, what is it? Single value. Now if you print df, after deletion, df1, df1, df2 is 2 different variables you have created. df1 is another object, df2 is another object. Now the original df is this one. After deletion, a list 2 has gone. What are the rows you are deleting? 2 and 3. So the result should be what? 0 and 1. Only 0 and 1 is there. 2 rows is gone. If you haven't deleted that list 2, only 40, 40, 30, 40 has gone. The rest 10, 40, 20, 40 would have been available. Because already we deleted the row, column. So only what is available? 10, 10 is 10, 20 is available. Clear now? Somashekar, is there any confusion? Data frame is clear. Manoj, how do you feel? Clear, no? Yeah, fine. Again, we are coming back to that LOC and ILOC method or indexing using labels. Pandas provide LOC and ILOC methods to access subset from a data frame using row and column. Now, previously you didn't use it with what it is called as series, one dimensional. Here you have to mention rows as well as column values. Accessing data frame through LOC. It is used to access a group of rows and columns. Syntax is LOC, start row, end row, start column, end column. See now how many values you are supplying? Two set, separated by comma. Where did you encounter like this one structure? Arrays. What type of arrays? NumPy array, multi-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array you specified like this. If only one value, start row, end row, job done. But here how many indexes are there? Row index is there, column index is there. So you have to mention where to where in the rows, where to where in the column. If you recall NumPy chapter, I put it tables, put it in green color and how we are slicing out. Same thing will happen here. Same thing will happen here, but more functionality available with the data frame. Please don't forget, NumPy two-dimensional array is not technically equal to data frame. Data frame is more powerful than the two-dimensional array provided by the NumPy. If we pass colon in row or column pod, then Pandas provides the entire rows or columns respectively. We know that. If we delete anything up to the end. If we drop start row, it means right from the first row. If we drop end row till the end of the row. If we don't specify the value. We know the notation, right? Now you see the program. Here, little bit nested, first time you are encountering this structure. When I could have introduced you in the dictionary topic, you could have confused. Now you have to recognize that you can create dictionaries like this also. The key is holding another dictionary. You can nest like this also. You can nest like this. In my previous example, key colon list. But here key colon dictionary. Actually that dictionary is available inside another outer dictionary. Runs is a outer dictionary. Right? So I am nesting that. If you take that value dictionary, it itself is having keys and value pair. QTR, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Understood? Like this you can create. It is permitted. In Pandas, in Python, it is permitted. Because this functionality is not coming from Pandas, the dictionary functionality is coming from core Python. That functionality we are giving to data frame so that data frame can arrange the data in a appropriate manner. Now you can think, so far when I know your mind was irritating you. Why 0, 1, 2, 3, why sir not text? This is the way you can create. We reached the point, right? Sometimes if I introduce you simultaneously, you will be confused. So I have to delay the topic so that when you are getting the foundational idea, I can move on. Now can you give textual data for a row number? Yes, possible. QTR is row index. QTR2, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. In business they will say quarter 1, first 3 months, second 3 months. Business income. That is what we are discussing. TCS is a company, Wipro is a company, L&T is a company. In quarter 1, TCS is 2,500. Something you think is like their income in crores. Now what we are doing here is, using LOC, I want to carve out some data. To access a single row, how can I mention the notation? LOC, the QTR3 is a row, right? QTR3 is a row. After that, comma, beginning and ending is not having anything, one colon is missing there.
Only quarter 3 row starting starting column ending.
Yeah, all the column values. Colon is given, there is no value in beginning starting means the whole, all the columns. All the columns of quarter QTR3 means how you can mention. Like this you can mention. In the second location LOC QTR1 colon QTR3 comma all the columns from QTR1 to QTR3. Now what you are doing? QTR1, 2, 3 will be output but 4 will not be there. So somewhat it is selecting particular rows. Somewhat selecting some particular rows. This is in the form of slicing rotation. To access multiple rows, you can specify like this. To access a single row, you are specifying like that. All the column values means how will you do? I need particularly only the TCS values. How can you modify it? I am going to show you, but before that, just one imagination. I need only TCS, QT1, QT3, QT2, all the values. I don't need Wipro and LNT. How can you modify that LOC? Is it possible or not? I need only first column. One particular company I need. I don't need that another two companies. How can you write that? df.loc square bracket what? First is start end is rows, comma start end is columns. How can you make that? Just you reverse the value. In row part only column, comma in column part you have to specify TCS. What will happen? All the rows, but column is only TCS. Yes or no? If you put it reverse, what will happen? Result will be different. Okay. See, am I right? Am I right what I told you? See, only TCS I need. Only I need TCS. TCS QT1, QT2, QT3, 2005, 2000, 3000, 2000, all you are getting. For example, I need all the rows, but only TCS and Wipro, 2 columns. Whatever in between available, all the columns will be included. TCS to Wipro means here only 2 columns are available. If you have 10 columns, in between TCS and Wipro, another 2 or 3 columns are that will also be displayed. Because it is range. Now TCS and Wipro, only 2 columns are displayed. LNT has been excluded because our LOC specification is like that. Right or wrong? Yeah. Now, how can you access only first row using LOC function? Specify 0. Yes. LOC 0 to 2, first 3 rows. First 3 rows. Now, you remember this example is taking that employee name, employee ID, date of joining. We are not taking TCS. This is a different data structure. Data source. This is a different data source. If you specify a single value for the LOC, it means that you are accessing a particular row. If you specify the range value, it means that you are specifying a particular row range. It doesn't mean the column range. If you want columns, how you will be doing? Like this you will be doing. If you need only rows, how will you be doing? You will be doing like this. Okay. There is no much difference between ILOC. ILOC means what is the behavior? Exclude the last value. Exclude the end value. Okay. Start index, end index, start column index, end column index. This is as usual. If we pass colon in row or column part, then Pandas provide the entire row or entire column respectively. We know that. If you don't mention anything, start from the beginning. That is the meaning. If you exclude any value, start row index or row column index. What is the meaning? Either you want to go up to the end or you want to start from the beginning. Both in rows and column. It is applicable. The same core idea. The core idea this is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, take this same TCS example. The company quarterly. To access first two rows and second column, how can you mention? First two rows of second column. 0 to 2. First two rows. 0 and 1. And second column. 1 to 2 means 1 and 1. 1 and means only one column. So what is the result? Net result is this one. QTR1, QTR2, and first column is Wipro. Zeroth column is what? TCS. Last column is 3. Yeah. If you want to include L&T also means what you will do? What will be the number there? 3 means up to 2. Simply you drop the column name up to the end. Right or wrong? See, in LOC, what is the behavior? Last column will not be included. Drop all together. Simply put colon. What is the meaning? Go to up to the end. All the rows, all the columns. That is the meaning. If you exclude a value, what is the meaning? Take everything. If you drop a value, what is the meaning? Take everything. That is the meaning. You know, this concept is not you know the philosophy. For you and me, one father and mother. If someone is orphan is there, everyone is father and mother. Anyone can help him. Everything is father and mother. Happening or not in our society? Same philosophy we are applying. If you have only one means you specify that. What is your father? Who is your mother? I don't have any reason. Everyone is. The meaning is what? Everyone is. Okay. Same head and tail method. Head and tail method. What will happen? First 5 rows by default. Tail means last 5 rows by default. If you specify a special value within the bracket, that many rows are that many rows of the top or that many rows of the bottom of the data frame. Now you can see date of joining, employee ID, employee name. Simply they put it upside down. Something they modified that. That's it. The same source. Is there any doubt here? Is there any doubt? No doubt. To display first 2 rows, we can use head 2. Return last 2 rows, we can use tile 2. This is what happening here. Second to fourth row means DF 2 to 5. 2, 3, 4 will be displayed. Fifth will not be included. Why? You are not using LOC, ILOC. By default, you are using the core idea. You are using the core idea. Please recognize that in Python, when you are learning, we are hiding lot of things. If we expose everything, you will be completely confused. You will not learn Python. The way the Python has been also beautifully designed. Don't expose, gradually expose. Gradually they can improve their knowledge in Python. That is possible in Python teaching. Lot of steps and lot of structures are there. It means that the way I am solving a problem in Python, the code 100% it will not match with you. You will get the same problem, I will get the same problem. You will get the same solution, I will be getting the same output. But the solution code will not match. Why? Multiple possibilities are there. I may be using see you are using LOC. Altogether we don't use the LOC, ILOC. Directly we are using the core notation. Everything, code will not match. Problem is same, output is same. But in between the problem solution approach is different. Yeah, it is possible. Another interesting thing is that Boolean indexing in data frame. Boolean indexing helps us to select the data from the data frame using a Boolean vector. We can create a data frame with a Boolean index to use the Boolean indexing. Boolean indexing means true or false indexing. True or false indexing. Say for example, there is a dictionary called as name, age. Name is Sachin Bhardwaj, Vinod Verma, Rajesh Mishra, 32, 35, 40, their age. Only two columns are going to happen. By seeing the dictionary, we can recognize name is one column, age is one column. How many rows are going to happen? 3 rows. Physically, how many rows? 0, 1, 2. What is the column name? Name, age. Are you able to imagine what is going to be the data frame? Yes or no? Yes. Now, as usual, you are creating data frame dict, but index is true, false, true. What is the index? True, false, true. Now, dfloc true, return data frame where index is true. Where index is true. And print gap. Result of ILOC method. ILOC 1. We can pass only integer value in ILOC. ILOC will not accept what it is called as the notation of true or false. You have to specify the numerical value 1 or 0 to specify true or false. Now, true, false, true, column index, row index is what? Name, age, and now you are saying that all the true columns has to be displayed. All the true columns has to be displayed, and all the false column, result of ILOC method will be first row. What is the first row? 0 is Sachin Bhardwaj. 0th row is Sachin Bhardwaj. First column is Vinod Verma. Vinod Verma 35. Are you getting? Yes or no? Yes, you are getting. Now you can imagine why we need this type of and also one peculiar thing you are seeing in Boolean indexing, index values is only 2 possible values. Can we have duplicate values like this in Boolean indexing? Yes. True or false is duplicated. You may ask what is the practical use. I can give you an academic example. I can create a data I can pull out from the student database particular data whether the student has paid or fees or not. Put the data inside the data frame. I will say those paid true, those didn't pay false index. List all the students who paid. Only one statement, df loc true, all the paid student list. Df loc false, all the unpaid student list. Give to the correct the fees. Understood now? There are thousands of practical uses that just I am telling you. Now it is almost 3:40. We can stop here. Concatenation operation in data frame that we are going to see in our next class. Little bit I am going slowly because some other topics are after Pandas. Some topics are very easy topics. Again some easy topics, little bit difficult topics. It will be going ups and down. And tomorrow we will continue with Pandas, and hopefully we will try to jump to the second portion of the Pandas as well as. Thanks for joining.